You hate this video for them.
Yeah, I would actually agree. I'm not so sure where their heads are at, but I also do have to just kind of believe that Vadim has some kind of a plan. Like, if you're the coach coming in, you're supposed to be the cool-headed one. You know, think big picture, think about the best chance forward. I have to hope it's coming with a plan, and that the demo watching and their recouping after their rough loss is somehow going to reflect on this game somehow. But Eruption starting T side and very quick paced about it.
Very fast. Smoking towards CT. Starry. Playing around Brokey. Got Emilia up here. Formerly Nelly. But I guess we call him Emilia now as they clear out through Temple. All the frags flying in. Zaku's trying to make a reply. But this round feels over already. Westmelon chiming away with the Julies. Makes it 2 and 3. No. What's happening? What's happening? 1-on-1. He goes down in the end as that was a brawl on A.
Oh man, I love Westmelon, but not able to find all the melons here on the pistol round. A little disappointing, I think, from him because that last duel, if he had, he tried to play the headshot angle, could have maybe pulled away from it, but tried to just overwhelm him and just doesn't end up working out. So Eruption, that fast pace, ends up panning through, but it's not without its turmoil. It gets a little scary.
Whoa, God. Let's reset after that one. That was crazy. That was exciting. That was fast. And we enjoyed it. We love
I like exciting starts. I have to say, when I see people like bleeding out pistol rounds, I'm just a little saddened by it. Like, come on, put your foot
I don't
down.
know. I like to be, teased into it a little bit more. If you're going too hard, I don't want to burn all that energy too early. I want to keep it going.
Foreplay.
Exactly. And they got 4 players here. No, 5.
Oh.
Starry's nearby as well. Do you know what is up with the Nelly name change? What is going on here?
So when you said that, I wasn't actually sure. I'm pretty sure Emilia is just a whole different player.
No, I think it's Nelly. I think we checked yesterday.
Because Nelly changed his name to Crisis at one point.
Oh, what's going on?
So, I mean, maybe he's done some voodoo switcheroo, but...
Let's do some digging.
I was fairly certain Nelly changed his name to Crisis, and then Crisis got dropped, and then Emilia came in his spot. Because Emilia's got, like, some crazy hair. And I kind of mess with it.
I'm doing the digging. No, you might be right.
Yeah, my understanding of it is he's probably just one of these 5E pickups. You know, a lot of the pugging players just end up finding their way into these rosters. And it's worked out for some teams. You know, Rare Adam did the exact same thing with Mercury and Mosea. First gun round and very quick through to the B bomb site. Eruption maintaining that pace in from the pistol and just bombarding Vadim. Has no sight line back to the site, and through the smoke Yami goes, but will work out. So much damage being found as well from Eruption, and a nice attempted. He'll find it. God damn, coolest. He already just plucked out that AWP. Thank you very much for buying that for me.
Wow, this is absolute madness. 2 out on the site. Cool last doesn't know where to look at the moment. Fury hits the deck. Shinobi's flanking in the middle of all of this, coming in behind the cave, and Starry's left alone. Young star of this team, but can't shine in this round. And this has been carnage so far. Everything's going crazy. There's nades everywhere. Everyone's pushing. I love Asian Counter-Strike. It is honestly so much fun.
Yeah, I'm starting to see why maybe they got kind of rolled on their CT side last time over on Ancient. That was all over the place. I was not expecting it to go quite like that. I thought they'd just play retake and try and retreat through the smokes on Lynn, but they stayed. It's probably pretty ill-advised.
It looked like Vadim was pretty pinned. He had Molly's left, right. He didn't really know where to look. And kind of commits to the long side of the back lanes. Westmelon, very aggressive. Left, jumping round, and he gets punished. Man advantage, and I think Westmelon would be ill-advised to chase that any longer. Good call to fall back.
Yeah, not many melons in the Counter-Strike space, and so we've talked about him as being the best melon just by default, really. But he has a lot of great rounds for this Lynn Vision side, and I feel like he's going to have a lot more of them if they're going to start.
I think I saw a HOTV thread of best melons in Counter-Strike, but I don't know. Who knows? Is there an East melon?
I don't think so.
You feel like he... Oh my god, there's a team kill. Oh my lord.
After he gets 2 kills as well. That's how you're rewarded?
Shinobi needs to be careful. I mean, if they lose... I know they're a man down, but they've still got big weaponry advantage. If they just stay calm, it should be okay. But if Shinobi gets caught here, especially if Starry decides to push out a donut, it could be scary. Shinobi pushes through. Good play coming behind, but I don't think it's going to matter. Shinobi's having a field day. Julie's out. Beautiful.
Yeah, he's hyphy. And finally gets put down, and that will allow an M4 to be retrieved here for Emilia, and I imagine the plan is to save. No armor, wrong bomb site, no problems here for Eruption, but it took a little zigzag there. If not for the efforts there of Shinobi, maybe this round does fall apart.
It's still messy. They're losing numbers.
Yeah.
I guess for Lynn Vision, given the investment, it's not the end of the day, but we need to see it on the gun rounds. Yesterday, they picked Ancient and got absolutely bodied. This time, it's their opponents that pick into it.
Yeah.
You don't normally see flipped map picks, especially when Lynn Vision didn't look that competitive on either map.
Yeah, a little strange, you know. Maybe Eruption were like, oh, that worked out so well for us last time. We'll just pick it.
It makes sense for them. Just go for it again.
Yeah, maybe just shift the veto up slightly, and Lynn were just like, no, we're going the same. You know, we'll pick Anubis. We're gonna beat you back.
I almost admire just the like brute mentality of let's just do it again. Yeah, let's just do it again. It didn't happen last time, but we like these maps, even if the stats say differently. Let's go again. Fast mid take. Early smokes as Fury's out wide. Nadage is tanking him up real bad, but he's not deterred. Crossing fast towards the red room. These smokes won't last forever. Surely Emilia gets an easy duel. That looked a little bit silly, and we saw it on board.
Yeah, maybe a little ill-advised. You know, this time Lynn Vision weren't going to try and fight for it. They're just going to wait those smokes out. westmelon does give up his position as well, because he knows that smoke is fading, so they will be able to maintain this man advantage for a little while longer. If Adam even peels away from B ramp, they are prioritizing numbers. Thing is, they're starting to group up a little bit here on Eruption, at least the second player over at the ledge to accompany Yami. Not making any sudden moves just yet, though.
Give us a peek, Yami. It's coolest. Roller Blades is way over. Looks like we're ending B. And another option to play heavily off contact. There's an entry. Big kill from Yami. Badim's going to react down ramp. This is not necessarily an easy fight. Player up on the boost. That's coolest. And these frags are rolling in thick and fast. Zaka left alone. 3 players on the ramp side. Molly is behind him. Not tagging him on just yet. And flashes are ineffective. As he uses the pillar, can't connect it on the second. Dobu finds the frag. Plant now starting to be stuck. He's holding wide as Starry does a lot of damage, but not quite the kill. Emilia can't transfer, and that's now 5 for Eruption.
Yeah, somewhat caught out by the double flank there from Cave, but didn't matter in the end. Able to space themselves out enough for a trade. Eruption, a 5-0 start. They're just letting the good times roll. And for this Lynn Vision side, you know, a little bit sad that Expert is not able to play with them. Definitely one of the minds within the Asia region where sometimes it can be quite hectic. I think he brought some good structure to this team. And maybe it was, you know, it's obviously between an in-game leader and his coach. But about him having to step in is obviously not ideal, because this Lynn Vision side have been so close to so many international chances, but they've always fallen short. Like, they'll get to finals only to lose to another team like IHC or Rare Atom. Kind of think they're due to a certain degree. But a young team, so maybe there's just all these growing pains of having to go through the repetitions and garner all that experience. They brought weapons into this round. They did, but it hasn't mattered.
Have any inside dealings on the X-Pro move? I assume it was lack of Pro League and RMRs.
I believe it's cited as a physical ailment. Like he's okay for it's like something to do with him. So hope he's okay. But Lynn are going to certainly feel his absence, I'm sure.
I think Emilia's in trouble. He's on the boost. This player's coming from Donut. 3 on this A-main. Looking the wrong way. Just about turns around. The trade is there. And I think Starry, just save the M4, brother. You're not going to get a lot more out of this round.
Yeah, still hyper-conscious and a little paranoid about somebody else being nearby, but Lynn already tapped out, so no real reason for it here on Eruption. Really incentivized to hunt down these players as well, but I don't even know if they spotted this extra M4. I think the damage that Starry took was via spam, so it's unconfirmed. Maybe chasing after what you've seen to be mainly pistols and SMGs is, in their minds, probably not the best use of resources. Ah, they're still using...
We hope Vadim gets on the board.
Yeah, his only kill so far has been on westmelon.
That's not ideal. Yeah, we hope he doesn't go full U-jerks. I believe, -1 and 14, or whatever it was in the end.
Yeah, that was
legendary.
That was something.
It was infamous.
And then he came back on like the next map and dropped 30 plus, didn't he?
Well, he had that. He had a pistol round where he got two kills on the Julies. And
yeah, they baited for him, didn't they? So...
that was the greatest exuberance of my life. Number 1.
I got to witness it all firsthand as
oh,
well.
God. It's all on tape as well.
Never seen you so happy.
No, I haven't. Even, I don't know. You could just feel it coursing through your veins. It's just pure ecstasy. Can't buy that stuff. And that's why I hang around for games like these. I need Vadim to go a long way in -1. And then shock us out of nowhere with an ace. That's the dream. And that's what we're hoping for.
Don't imagine it's going to be a part of his hopes. Full gun round here for Lynn Vision. Would certainly be a story if this continues to be an Eruption down. Emilia through that smoke, the second kill. Fury caught behind it, trying to trade, and that was that bomb drop, but not confirmed. And Vadim's on the board. 3 kills very quickly here for Lynn Vision. Eruption tried to just burst onto the A play, and Emilia shut it down.
This round's looking over.
Hell yeah.
For Eruption, I mean, they got so much money. We just play for damage. Any kills here are very nice. Very nice indeed. Very cool to deter. It's the W here. As he reworks his way around. W's cooling, right?
Yes, yeah. A little surprising to see that, considering it's his first foray into the in-game leader role. But I guess under the supervision, being able to, oh my god, having a player like Impression kind of supervise him, and then in-game leader swap. I'm gonna hate that I forget this, but
I feel like it was Shinobi, but that might just be because there's another Shinobi. I might be wrong.
I think they swapped in-game leader responsibilities on this team, but I'm talking about on his last team, NKT, where Impression, very like mid-round focused and sort of execute heavy in-game leader, and then moving into Urcast, which was a bit more loose. You know, he's seen both sides of different calling styles, and so maybe he's taking some of that away.
Vadim on the board. Beautiful. 1 for 1. I don't think Eruption should be too despondent, but maybe now. Double AWP is in play. Try to react on A. And they hit the deck. They're starting to reroute for some mid-control. Starry needs to think better of playing out in the open. He's not necessarily had the best start here. A lot of time to go. And a lot of people feel this man Starry is one of the absolute up-and-coming players of the region. But this time, he's down in the ground.
He's not had a great start to this map, in all honesty. Feels like he is just getting annihilated on quite a few of these peaks. Not entirely his fault. Eruption have come out the gates swinging, but on this round they're going to try and swing it both ways. Flash in for Shinobi, try and draw some attention over at A. Bomb's still yet to commit, and with 40 seconds left, he's still trying to show a little bit of presence over at B simultaneously. He's not doing too much. That tag through, that might actually influence this round massively. They're actually anticipating a rotate as well, so they're bringing that bomb over to B, and Nobu's calling it all clear, and now it certainly is.
Zach already saving. This was a 4-on-3 for the CT side. Not the best look for Lynn Vision.
Yeah.
And as we kind of brought up, it's still very early doors, but we expect Starry to be one of, if not the best player on this Lynn Vision team. And from what I've seen of this guy so far over the last few months, he's got skills. He's immensely mechanically skilled. But I still think he's learning a lot about how to position, when's too overzealous, learning from mistakes. I think he's still on that trajectory, and he's got a way to go versus some of the top players in this region.
For sure. And I've always loved that him and westmelon are on this team together, because I think westmelon's a bit more like well thought out in his peaks and makes fewer mistakes. He doesn't have the same ceiling, I don't think. Like, if you're looking for a consistent fragger on this team, westmelon is probably the guy. But Starry has a ceiling that can be hit that does take Lynn to that next level. So both key pieces.
I've heard a lot of people comparing Starry to Mercury, and I just feel like Mercury is further along his trajectory as a player.
100%.
Quite a lot so. Mercury plays some really great Counter-Strike. He's definitely my favourite player in this region, and we will see him later on for the grand final. Will Starry go up against him? Oh, this round is a quick trade. Emilia's taking an awkward duel, just about wins it. Thank God. There's Dobu trying to come through the smoke. It's a very awkward affair here in mid. It's Yami trying to press the issue on B. Breaks a hit now. Lynn Vision are out of dodge, and is looking very, very good.
Yeah, looking like a potential A reset as well, because Emilia has typically been that anchor player over at A, but suspicions should be raised that someone else has taken over those responsibilities. Emilia ends up taking his ground back, so he's accompanied Zacher, and they're 2-2 a sight, so things could still shape up here for Eruption if Lynn continue to be a little jittery.
It's hard now. They've lost mid. westmelon has to come off B. Cover off the red room. Vadim was also looking in this direction, and Eruption, despite the pretty catastrophic disadvantage, have essentially forced a 2-on-1 here on B. If they go fast enough. No nades for Vadim either, so denying a plant doesn't feel likely. Here comes that nadage. Molly on towards the long side. Smoke on short. Cool ass. Dropping some flashbangs as well. Let's get this bomb down and see what can be connived. Nice wide plant, which is good for basically anywhere. And now they're falling back. There's quite a lot of nades on the CD side. It should still be good for them, but they can't make any mistakes.
Oh, God. I don't know if you class that as a mistake. Yami, just a fantastic shot. And the AWP of Coolest will strike as well. Zacher gone. And Emilia, he got that AWP swapped over to him. Low HP. And all that utility that Starry had now gone. Coolest, oh, God, missing shots. But Yami joined him inside of cage. He immediately relocated. But westmelon just too damn quick. It's a great retake in the end here for Lynn. But it's all westmelon that brings it in.
Just get absolutely meloned. That was amazing. Right at the end. It felt like after the reposition, it was going to be so good for Eruption because they wouldn't expect the last player to be in cave as well, and westmelon just wins. Very nice stuff. Even so, given that it was a 4-on-2, that was so close for comfort. Cool had 2 chances to end that round, I think. I think if he gets one more kill, I don't think they ever break the crossfire. So
yeah, I mean, you consider that they've got this massive, like a 4-on-2, for them to be as stretched as far as that, like nobody went for information at all. They had to respect that there could have been a lurker in middle as well, so they divided away from Vadim even more. Like, that could have been so much worse, but yeah, it all works out. It's fine.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Vadim is, I mean, it's not even worth paying attention on Vadim. I mean, Starry and Zacher are meant to be 2 of the best players on this team.
Yeah.
They're yet to really hit the ground running. Emilia, the A anchor, is top of the board. Which is not quite what we expect all the time. And Lynn Vision just don't really look that cohesive at the moment. They just don't. They, in that retake, we're feeding him 1 by 1. The utilities are going down before we're peaking. And I don't know. They gave away a man advantage the gun round before. Not all is rosy in their camp.
But this is a great way to start here if you're Lynn. A lot of unconfirmed damage, but Eruption get tanked by spam, utility. They are weak in the knees, so could tee up a success from players like Vadim, Star, any of these riflers could just finish off business. Vadim actually has the same amount of kills as Starry and Zacher. Started -1, and he had to claw his way back up to 1.
Smoke is there. Keeps westmelon alive as we start the mid clear. They're not using any nades, so they know something I don't about where Zach is playing. Counter smoke onto Donut as they push into the red room. Emilia's going to go wide. Shinobi hits the deck. A couple players also on low HP. Starry's going to sit in towards this Donut smoke. Thinks better of it as he falls back through. As the A split is on the cards for Eruption. But they have to win one of these duels. Zaka might be unanticipated on this angle as Starry ducks and dives around the cube. Can't pick the right angle at the moment. There's players to the left-hand side. He can hear all of this now. Dobu doesn't expect one to be here. Starry gets the first. Emilia connects on the second. And Zach is having a field day. Finally! Clean round.
Yeah, it looked like Starry was kind of leaving Zacher to the wolves there because he actually ended up getting wrapped from the Donut players and spammed down because of it. But just setting up for that flank in Donut, and that was the round sealer. I don't know if that was well discussed or whether Zacher was like, man, I thought you had me covered. But it doesn't matter. Lynn keep most of all their players alive, rather. Eruption, good start. And now they're knifing inside of spawn. Not ideal. All the funds have dried up, and as the well has run a little lighter, Eruption go back to what worked earlier on. Fast play in. Zacher, quick scope while full blind, and gets a second as well. Coolest meant to trade. Who came around pre-fire and came around swinging. Eruption get nothing on the fast A or B play.
No connection there, but it shouldn't matter. Dobu is so low. HE's cascading his way. It's very Lynn vision, just a 3-man push. 3-on-1, why not? Why not? The HP is so low that I don't think it's going to work out for Dobu. And that was brutal as they went up and onto the bomb site. Zaka, the first kill was crazy. We weren't on board for the second, but that one looked even more mad. As he's kind of crouching, ducking in the corner, flashes are exploding everywhere. And he makes it work. Beautiful.
Yeah, I think by the second frag, the flash must have worn off, right? But he's just not expected to win that fight. Wasn't expected to win the first either, so... Hey, things are looking up. You know, finally, there isn't this massive bankroll here for Eruption, and so they call their first time out. This is consecutive rounds now won here for Lynn Vision. So this Chinese squad might just be able to recover this half. It was... I won't lie, you know, given the last scoreline that we had, I was concerned it could just happen again. But not looking likely now.
It's looking better. Good might be a stretch. It feels like at the moment. Even in these, I mean, that was a mow down. But I haven't been overtly convinced by the camera strike I'm seeing from Lynn Vision just yet. This round should be a little bit easier. Bit of a halfie. Shinobi on that AK. Where he's playing. Oh, he's up towards Catwalk. Like the first, as Vadim is overwhelmed. Tech9's galore raiding off. And there's nobody here on B. There's nobody here in defense. Guys, run. Get over.
And they're going to do exactly that. Smokes down. And one missed over towards long, which might make Eruption a little wary about proceeding into the bomb site. But after a moment's hesitation, that's going to allow Emilia actually to get up on ledge and suddenly have another avenue to flank back in. Starry's whittled it down to a 3-on-3 once again. The rifles haven't been retrieved just yet. Emilia finally exposed. And now the two players that remain coolest. He had the rifle, Dogu the block, and will be able to do some damage, but no frag. 3 there for Emilia on the quick play up ledge.
Tempted drive-by. Doesn't work. That looked like a lot of hesitation from Eruption. I know they missed the smoke for the long side, but 2 kills is kind of... You've got 2 choices. You're either going to go or you're going to fully reset into somewhere else on the map, and they did neither.
Yeah.
They threw all their nades and just didn't move.
I think as well, the setup there for Lynn was probably quite questionable. You know, they go for an aggressive B play and they have no mid control. That's why westmelon ran out from cave to throw a smoke deep mid. It seemed a little strange. There was nobody else on B.
Okay.
Adam was boxed in and walking. He tried to get aggressive, but was flashed off, only to tuck himself right into Eruption's hands. This is a full recommitment here from the Eruption buy. Starting off on a 4-on-5, Lynn will have to be a little proactive. That's, I think, what's changed a bit so far, is that they are trying to assert presence a little bit more wholeheartedly. We saw some mid-utility, but they never really committed behind it. Now as well, late round push, Shinobi full flashed, and Starry, that's a sitter.
Very proactive. Zach is flipped onto B after westmelon took a lot of damage. But for the moment, it's still Zaka alone. We need some players over on this B side of the map for that CT side. And just, I don't know what they're doing. They've cleared mid. And they're just leaving Zaka out to dry for the moment. Starry's starting to move. But nades across the board. These can be thrown in. First towards short. And it's actually misdirection as Eruption decide. Donut instead. We want the A-bomb site.
westmelon hears it, and he's the low HP player. If he gets one, that more than they bargained for. Smoke down and playing around it. This is really tricky. Emilia there to alleviate the pressure, and the spam from westmelon will convert, but a quick double in from Dobu. 2-on-2 now, but they're so heavily separated. Dobu has to delay, and I don't think Lynn Vision will allow him to do so. Yeah, spammed, and, well, suddenly this lurk just looks a little silly.
Not planted for him. Kit on Zaka. As long as they hold it, it should be okay. But they're messing around a little bit. Tapping out the bombs. Back through. Yami with the first. I can't believe he's been allowed this. Takes it to the one-on-one. Can't get it done. Wow. I mean, he was in a different postcode when his teammate died. And still takes it that close.
Yeah, such a risk to take that. And then as well, if you're going to clear out a flank, the AWP doing it first, I think that was a potential misstep there from Lynn that basically allowed Yami a way back in, so close to converting that 1-on-2 when he had basically no business winning it.
Lynn Vision are fighting so hard for these rounds. They've had, I think, one really clean, and the others have been completely mad.
Yeah.
Completely bonkers. And they're on the CD side of Ancient. The most favoured sides on any map in the pool. Aggressive. I get that they're running the same stuff, but launching Vadim into a lot of fights doesn't feel like a very clever move.
I think it's very similar to how they operated with X-Pro, and I imagine Vadim is just trying his best to fill that role as best he can. And he has some games where he's very on form and he does do what X-Pro does, but this is not one of them.
Because back on, for example, back on Endpoint, we had this sort of scenario with Max to some extent, where we never wanted to send Max in first in an aim fight. You'd always engineer the rounds. It was, the Nerds, the Boros, the Mezzi, Flames of the world. They're taking those fights. And I understand it's a bit of a standard situation, but given his not the best start to this map, at some point you need to be pragmatic and just run the best you can on the fly, even if it deviates from what you've practiced.
Yeah. Maybe a lack of a plan B. Well, Eruption go to plan A, contacting into Emilia. Yeah, gonna be cleared out here from Shinobi. A little too quiet, and Eruption are wary, so into a 4-on-4. This bomb can't go down, but Starry's position, it's critical that he holds it. He's crunched it from both sides. That smoke spam, enough for Fury to sideswipe, but westmelon's quick on a trade. They don't know that Yami's here, though.
Left alone. Vadim sneaks first, hits the deck. But the trades are very, very nice. Lynn Vision really fast coming off the B catwalk there. That's what helped them a lot in those engagements, because if bomb goes down with players in donut and there's also no smoke on that CT side, really difficult to pull off the retake. But yeah, they crunch the donut, find those frags, and it becomes nice and easy from there.
Yeah, and kind of overwhelming the pretty... I think he's been a pretty stable set of hands in Emilia so quickly. Could have definitely gone and taken a twist back into Eruption's favor, but this train keeps rolling here for Lynn. Sure they're having to work for it, but a round is a round.
It's looking a heck of a lot better than it was. Let's put it that way. Shinobi peeks out of mid really fast. Spacing is not good to his teammates, but fortunately Starry can't get out of dodge. A Krieg? In 2023, I respect it, but Zaka doesn't.
If you got that kill, then suddenly, oh, well, if you just make an extra sure that Krieg has no influence on the round. Still not committed just yet here, are Eruption. They're still considering their options. They know Zacher retains control of the red room, and a Molotov there to allow him to retake his space over at A, but looks like an Eruption reset. B seems to be the call, and Dobu's still alive to make this decision, but I imagine as well, given that there was so much presence in mid earlier, he's just going to be left on a lurk, so it will be on both Yami and Fury to break into this bomb site.
All the way up the shoulders. And Fury does actually win that first kill without him. Can't make it work in the end. Westmelon, awkward fight. To play ducks into it because Zaka. He's been in the right place at the right time at the end of this half. And that's going to be 8 for Lynn Vision. Quite the recovery as we go into second half here on Ancient. And we're back. Just a little bit of a wait. We hope we're not here too long. We can get back into the game. That felt like a streaky affair, actually, that first half. Early on, Eruption looked like they're going to absolutely dominate. They had so much money. Lynn Vision were making a lot of mistakes. And by the end of the half, it looks really loose by Eruption. And Lynn Vision in those last couple gun rounds were much improved.
Yeah, some of those late lurks as well really just didn't pan out for Eruption. So maybe they can muster some force here in the pistol. Coolest already kicking it off with a headshot. AWP versus AWP, but I'll show up in the stats as a feed for Lynn Vision. I wasn't expecting to take this twist. Thought Coolest could get more, but 3-on-3, Lynn now not committing through middle because there's a quick reaction here from that CT side. Eruption will now investigate and realize that there's nobody home. Lynn resetting at B.
Yami might get up and onto the catwalk. Decides to play time a tad, and now he's moving. Bomb is coming. westmelon kind of thinks he's checked this already, and he's looking that way.
Wow.
With no noise cue. Well, got a big head on him. Big melon on this Westman. Looking very good as his teammates are crawling, creeping up the B ramp. Dobu alone. His teammates all the way back towards the red room, and Dobu is juggling angles. Players are all the way out onto the bomb site. I don't think he's going to expect it. Emilia takes first contact, but there's a player in the back lanes. That's Vladim. First kill found. Smoke onto the deep area as well. And westmelon connects. Beautiful end to their pistol round.
Yeah, and they just swarm over what Eruption have planned for their mid-take, you know, committing resources in that way. I wasn't expecting the quick trades there from Lynn. They could have just diverted and taken the B-bomb site, but instead they wanted to make sure that those players did die for their efforts. And I think credit to westmelon. I'm a little surprised, rather, that he was holding for that inevitable push, and that just made the situation that much worse. That's now 8 in a row here for Lynn Vision. We started with a 7-1 scoreline here for Team Eruption, but they've let that lead slip, and they've been overtaken coming into this half, but now some distance can be attained here for the Chinese squad.
At him, under pressure. A little overwhelmed, but no one's a match.
Sure.
westmelon. He shoots his way to the east. Beautiful stuff. And it's just Yami. Then keep these 4 players alive. It's very good for the Lynn Vision cash. And it's looking a lot better. So many rounds in a row. And I'd like to see some pauses, actually, I think, from Eruption, because they might have thrown this entire map away in the last few gun rounds. They've really slipped.
Yeah, I think they called 1 timeout so far, and that was when the streak started to mount there for Lynn. I think maybe they got like 3 or 4 rounds in a row, then they called the time. But it did feel like it had almost come out too late, and then we started to see them separate with these crazy lurks. And one of them almost worked out, but the other attempts fell flat. This gun round could help break that streak. Eruption would certainly hope so. Their map picking the series, and they dominated last time this map was played. They again delivered a beatdown after a slow start in from Lynn instead.
Age is landing. Smoke on CT. One onto Donuts. Oh, I think there's a bad smoke on the front of Donuts. Cool Last sits in his angle, sprays away, and 2 players right into the shrapnel. Eat lead for their trouble. Vladim's pushing with the bomb. Okay. It's aggressive, but he makes it work. Problem is, all his teammates are falling by the wayside. Emilia surely gets pinched by these 2 Donut players as soon as he's spotted. Fury, though, doesn't seem to know. Yami, though, is dead. Emilia makes it compelling. Players lining up, but just too many to deal with, given that all his teammates were down.
Yeah, I think Emilia spotted the first player in a donut, but must have anticipated that there was going to be someone covering for the eventual mid-flank, so found a good timing, and those 2 kills could have certainly swung it, but not enough. Great effort there from Kulas. That spam, like you mentioned, it immediately broke down what Lynn had planned. Suddenly the spacing off, the players are having to make these very separated decisions. And so that's where the streak ends. 9 in a row, and maybe Eruption will put their foot down and say nothing more.
Do you think Cool Last's name is super intentional or a slight mistranslation? Saying that it's Cool Last.
I don't think it's that deep. I think he just probably
he just likes
it together.
The 4.
Yeah, I think he just put it together and thought, hey, this looks good.
That was good. That was real good. Cheeky headshot from Zaka. There's no nades, no armor on this offensive side. So we shouldn't expect too much. Fury is playing with fire. Nobody swung right at the end of that Molotov. He might be in a spot of bother. He ducks and dives his way into the donuts. Playing behind this pillar. And Limage and pump the brakes. They're not interested in chasing just yet. They do have the rifle though on westmelon. See what chooses to use it.
That's what Fury was looking for, but he couldn't find it. westmelon did, so his level of deduction seems to be that much higher, but Fury once again will investigate, realizes that weapon's missing, and has a great timing. That M4 no longer a part of the equation, but Starry a quick counter.
A little bit nerve-wracking. M4 recovered Emilia with another 2v3. Bomb is sprinting back towards Jag. And it's such a good spray transfer. Yami with the jammy kills. Dabu spins on the dime. 2 alive in the end, but that got mega scary for Eruption.
Yeah, just constant trades. And they're supposed to have the weaponry advantage. It probably shouldn't have been as close as that, but Yami bails them out. A young guy here for the Eruption squad. A lot of the other players on this team very much been round the block and played on loads of teams. Yami is kind of similar, but he started when he was 14. So.
Wowzers. A real youngin'.
Yeah.
And how old is he now? Is he late
18?
Late teens? Okay. A bit of way to go then. Westmelon has been an absolute monster. A monster on Ancient so far. Makes it a second. 25 frags already as Vadim gets spammed away. He's not had the best day in the office, but he's doing his job, and that's all that matters. If Lynn Vision know the spots, they'll know that there's probably B players remaining. But they're taking it nice and slow. As long as they group up, it should be A-okay.
I think they're just anticipating that one of these A players, or one of the players that's supposed to be situated on B, will sort of retake over at A, but no one's really moving too far away from the initial site. All that presence that Lynn showed. I mean, the priority would be saving here for Eruption, so even if they do go A, not the worst thing in the world. Smoke will bloom, and I don't imagine Eruption are going to move.
It's good info. 40 seconds, there is time to sprint this back through T-spawn. And surely Emilia is calling, guys. Open site.
Yep.
Open house. Bring all the squatters over. Let's set up shop.
Nice and easy. Yeah, Eruption just want to hold on to their weapons. So a brawl in towards Cave and Ledge simultaneously. Lynn had that boost assembled through that mid-smoke, and Eruption weren't ready, especially after they lost that initial duel. Suddenly all attentions were raised on the B play.
So unfortunately I didn't catch the Lynn Vision Eruption opening game yesterday. It looked like a disaster CT half for the CT side. And something I always think is that when you're playing with a stand-in, I always think T-side's easier because you can change the way you play a lot more to mitigate it, or you could have Vadim throwing a lot of the nades. Presumably he knows a lot of them being the coach. And you can kind of funnel the game through different players. On the CT side, you've always got 1/5 of the map, which is going to have problems, whatever you do.
Yeah,
so,
I watched a Tricked game the other day where they're currently going through some changes. You know, they don't have a 5th, so they're using Sandin. And he was constantly changing spots. I think, you know, trying to avoid being abused, so to speak. He was just filling any role where he'd sometimes be the B anchor or he'd be the A anchor, depending on what Tricked wanted to do on their CT side, if they wanted to go for like a proactive push somewhere. So that's maybe one way you can mitigate it, but it adds like a layer of complexity where, you know, does he know how to play all the spots on the map, and is he actually going to be comfortable if he is tested on those areas, or would he just rather literally anybody else to be doing that job, or I guess the player that's supposed to be in those spots. So
3 smokes dropped for Emilia. They're going to make their way over. Bit of time before they actually execute in. Flashes now. No counter nades being dropped. So I assume the CDs don't really have the utility to hold back this sort of round. Rifles forced behind that CT smoke. There's 4 in attendance for Eruption. And this is not an easy side to plant on. You can spam pretty much every single plant when you've got all these directions of pressure. Re-smoke onto Donut. And the bomb is still yet to be planted. Vadim wants to fight into a CT a little bit as a spam comes through Donut by the looks of it. This is so awkward. Thank God Emilia's found a kill elsewhere and towards mid. That alleviates some pressure. Westmelon with another. And this is starting to fall apart for the TV side. There's no kid as well. And every second that passes, it's looking better and better and better for Lynn Vision.
Yeah, they knew there were 2 on the site as well, so they were hyper conscious of that. They just wanted that smoke to fade. And I thought Zachar was going to go through it, considering the trades initially came up in the Eruption camp. But they don't overstep. Zacher will even find a follow-up frag as well on the hunt attempt. Dobu kept himself close by, but we'll have to... This radius on Ancient is ridiculous. I'll be honest, I hate it. I don't know how you feel about it. But...
It doesn't keep me up at night.
Yeah, it just, you know, when you compare it to, like, Nuke, people can be on B site when it's planted back of the silo, and they'll live.
That is true. I guess we just want consistency across the maps.
Yeah, a little bit, but...
Money's broken, though, for Eruption. They invested everything. The whole kitchen sink into the previous. Couldn't convert. Dobu, though, was the one with the gun. It's so awkward. That flashbang, the molly on the noggin. And he hits the deck. That gun is also now unrecoverable. So you're trying to push in towards Jag to make it work, but westmelon is absolutely the match for them.
How do you kill both?
He's a monster. He's easily on track for 30.
Yeah. Vadim was supposed to be the one that covered the close angle. I don't know how westmelon got both kills. I didn't think it was exposed.
Go, Vadim. Let's go. Let's go. Oh.
Westmelon,
you son of a gun. Has to have all the frags for himself. Vadim is trying to get in there. Wants the eco frags. And westmelon's having none of it. He's greedy.
Yeah. He's lined his pockets. I think that's, what, 8 kills? Because he got 4 in that last anti-eco as well, moving into this T side, so... Anti-ecos versus westmelon, guaranteed 4K so
Soaks
far.
him up.
Yeah.
Spits him out like pips. There's westmelon. Been a lot of A rounds here from Lynn. This one's just more of an A default, as they're going to try and get Zacher into play. There's no AWP in the defense whatsoever. So he is in a good place to peek through some angles on A. And look at this from Lynn Vision. 5 players stacking up early. Nage dropped again to Emilia. And this time, I actually like it more. There might be 2 in defense, but nobody's nearby. Here come those smokes. 1 for CT. Next is surely for Donut. Flashes coming through as well. First infected with Shinobi's on the boost. Second, though, is a lot better. Starry with the entry. And now Fury's in a world of trouble. Ducks into Temple behind this smoke. He wants to disrupt. He wants to do damage. But it's just so hard to know how to make it work. If there's a flashbang maybe over the top, he could come through. But he's ultimately defenseless as bomb gets planted. And with Emilia on the lurk and 4 players spread out on the site, our Eruption just going to pull the ripcord and save it right off the bat. And I think the answer is yes.
Yeah, I mean, second time they've run that execute, and last time Eruption had utility. They had 4 players close by, but they still couldn't do anything to stop that bomb going down, nor end up sort of getting the trades back in their favor. So this time over, there's not as much presence, there's not as much utility with this reinvestment. Calling it quits quite quickly. I think that one flash that could have been facilitated, Dobu wanted nothing to do with it. He started moving away from B, and he's like, yeah, you know what? We'll look to the next round instead. 14, and Yami dead at the embers of that round, but Lynn have been on a tear.
Every saved gun is so massive as well, and that's one of the better rifles. Pauses in as I guess they're having a quick discussion of whether to buy, and I actually think they should. Maybe half buys the play. I think pick your poison. When Lynn Vision get up to 15, especially with their economy, I mean, how many chances are they going to have? 4, maybe 5 chances to end it? It just feels a little bit too much to deal with. And I think buying is coming in. Dobu's dropped an M4, by the look of it. It looks risky, but I actually think this is the right play. I think they had to go for it.
Yeah, a little too far in the hole. You allow Lynn to get to 15 first after your incredible start. Probably not need that extra boost in confidence, and maybe they can have a bit of a momentum shift. Right now, it feels like Lynn are just taking the space they want to in the opening sets of the rounds. We start to see the reaction from Lynn when they were losing so many rounds on their CT side. They started being more proactive, whether it was in the mid round or establishing an idea at the start of the rounds.
I think they found a strat they like. Because they're going for it again. 5 over. There's an A main smoke down.
Yep.
Eruption, I guess this time Lynn Vision pressured B a little bit more, which might hold players. And actually, Eruption are playing 3B. How many times until there's a boy who cried wolf scenario and we needed to have the numbers over? Nonetheless, cool ass called upon for this defense. Volley behind the headshot box. He ducks into the CT smoke. Bit of damage onto westmelon as Fury holds down mouse 1. We need to get this bomb down as cool ass has got back through. They went a little bit too late. That molly had faded, and now it's not looking good at all. Bomb is roaming all the way back in towards mid through T-spawn, and they're just going to leave Starry. This is a really intriguing round now.
Yeah, I don't know if Eruption are going to be too privy to it. Still 2 players over at B, but they're giving a lot of respect to the idea that there could be a lurker left. And they are right in their assumption, but it's all about whether Coolest can react fast enough, because right now, there is a gap through Temple.
Yeah.
I think they seem to be convinced that it isn't going to be some kind of a lurking presence in that direction, and Starry will start to activate, but that's because they got the kill via Emilia. He's hearing these steps rotate away, and if he kills Shinobi here, suddenly the A bomb site is ripe for the picking, and they're gonna find it. Starry a flank, and now suddenly Eruption realize they've got the wool pulled over their eyes.
Such good macro. There's a molly as well on these T players. Get into CT and the plan is easy. It's not going to matter. Starry's ripping everyone's head off. My God. What a round. That was a man deficit. They pulled the plug on A, and they still find the gap. Eruption just had no clue that a player had made it in towards the temple side, did they? This had no idea. And that is their undoing. This map looks over.
Yeah, like you said, a bit of a it's an interesting mid-round development there from Lynn Vision, but and you know it garners some risk as well. You know, Eruption could have been setting up for a flank because the A play was taking so long, but they used their numbers perfectly.
I think it was the right call. It's so hard. It's so hard to hit A with traded. It's almost impossible. There's just way too many angles. Granted, Lynn Vision could never have known Starry had got in there untested, but at least you're throwing a spanner in the works. You're making it hard for Eruption. They've got to make decisions. If you just commit to A, I mean, how many do they have there? Probably 4 CTs. There's just too much to deal with.
Yeah. Cool stuff. And, you know, that actually, well, I think was a botched execute to a certain degree. There was an extra smoke there from the T side, front side donut that I think made it awkward, but even in all the chaos, clear thoughts expressed, I think
they're missing one smoke, because they threw that earlier as well. So I get they're trying to re-smoke donut and it's just bad. Something.
Yeah, it seems like. Because that was why Coolest was allowed to sort of creep out through CT. I think that smoke provided, well, just more obscurity, basically.
What you see sometimes is a deeper donut smoke all the way down the back. So there's 2 stages. You hit A first, and then there's a deeper smoke. And you go in and you clear donut, and you play it in the after plant. But if that was the plan, someone needs to learn their lineup. Maybe it was X-Pro that threw it before, and he hasn't taught them properly.
Well, that looks a little ambitious from Yami's POV. He'll find the kill, and it's an easy collection. Had him already tagged down himself. No counter kill, so a 5-on-4 that can be leveraged. westmelon phases that smoke at perfect timing, and he has gone a little quiet in these last few rounds, but his teammates have picked up the slack. westmelon demanding respect over at B. Dobu, well, a little disrespectful, perhaps.
Absolute drive-by. As Eruption squeak their way into an advantage. Dobu's doing his best to get his hands on that AK. He hasn't got it yet. There it is. Very nice. Collection made. And Lynn Vision needs to reconsider. If they can get into Donut, it becomes interesting. Shinobi has no idea. She has no idea. No way.
Dude.
No way. Vadim, 400 IQ, Coach Brain into play. He might have just won them the map.
Yes, he certainly has. Ult recovered as well. He was low HP to make that choice, and it has worked out perfectly. Dobu a 1-on-3 that looks insurmountable. 2 ults peek him. 3 in total there for Lynn to collect on Ancient. That's a decision. This did not go to plan.
What a way to end it. Vadim walks in, just completely unchecked, gets all the way behind the box, and just he has a freak out of it. Eruption, I don't know. They look, from what I've seen over the last few days, they are really up and down, these guys. And they they make some mistakes. They definitely make some mistakes. I'm a little bit stunned that they smash Lynn Vision yesterday on the same map, and this time, for whatever